Ndị be anyị ekele m unu n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị sị na ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Igbo Media ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasara maka anụ Igbo and Igbo community and ihe debe na Nigeria. Ya bụ ife ka anyị na-ewetara unu na Igbo Media. Dịka isi wee na-esonye anyị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izizi gị ị na-abịa n'ilu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media. Ekpa ka you subscribe and turn on your notification ka you miss any of our updates dịka anyị na-etikwu ya n'ilu akwụkwọ kwa mgbe. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ya wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasara maka ka ya bụ ife si ada and gbasara maka ka ya bụ ife si akpọtụ n'ala Igbo. Biko mma achọ ka ige ya bụ ife. Ihe a bụ ihe BIAFRA Chief of Staff bụ Ngozi Orabueze kwuru n'ilu akwụkwọ gbasara maka ka o si ada na Finland and gbasara maka Biafran Prime Minister Maazị Simon Ekpa. So igecha ya bụ ife idropụra ife iche n'ilu akwụkwọ gbasara maka ihe bụ ife ndị a niile okwu. Alright, over to you.
I have to hustle for the link to be part of this meeting tonight. So I don't know if we have placed a ban on publishing links on state platforms, especially the ones created on Telegram. And then thirdly, there was a time my DPMs mentioned something about, I think, a phone line or something. And I don't know what is going on about that, if there are significant improvements in that with regards to phone lines. I mean, what I mean is, I'm tired of plus 234. If we can have something else, even if it's plus 000, so that we can flow and know that yes, we are a country of our own as usual. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank DPM specifically. You are doing a great job. Thank you, ma. And I have so many other questions, but I will stop here so that I can go and sleep. I'm calling from the state of Aouda. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
DPM, do you mind if you finish, I'll answer something for you.
You can go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to tell him about the contact. I have my number on the chat, and regarding the, like the having a public line, please, you will see our numbers with all the broadcasters. Our numbers are there for you to contact. Okay, did you hear me, Mr. Douglas?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you watch like Google 247 Choke Survival? Do you watch them on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, our numbers are there. When you're in doubt, please, chat on, ask them to give you our numbers, okay?
Okay.
So I can help you connect.
If they can put it on the chat box now, so I can copy it.
Okay, mine is on the chat box now. Get in touch with me. I'll give you the WhatsApp connection to your state.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, DPM, sorry, you can go ahead with the rest here.
Yeah, thank you so much. The question on how many countries recognition, the Foreign Affairs Department is working on that. Remember, the Prime Minister said our declaration will give us the documents we need to be a full-fledged nation, which we are, and continue to file the necessary documents at the right table. So that is ongoing right now. A couple of countries, if you were in Finland, we have recognition from our sister, a couple of countries like Amazonia, like Eritrea, government in exile, and then all those countries that recognize Biafra. When we were a nation, they never renounced those recognition. And the Foreign Affairs Department have written to those countries, and we're getting a very positive result from them. So they never denounced us. So they are still our allies as we speak today. So that is the answer to that question. We still continue to reach out to different countries. Again, bear in mind, these countries will not solve your problem. Their recognition is not what we are really looking for per se. With or without their recognition, we are a nation. Yeah. We must continue to carry out activities. We are not waiting for nations to recognize us before we start doing things. That is why earlier in this question and answer session, you have a lot of our commanders come out to talk to Biafrans. So we're not waiting for anybody's recognition. Anybody that is making noise because of where they're going or pictures they're taking, they don't even have a clue what they are doing. So I just want to make that clear. We do not need to be recognized by any nation to be our independent nation and carry out our political activities. There are a couple of countries in the world today that are not recognized by the United Nations or the African Union, but they are functioning as a full-fledged country. So that is the route that the United States of Biafra is really going. As far as the link for this question and answer session, this link has been out several weeks and all that. So I don't know the platform where you are. Are you in the right platform? Because if you're in the wrong platform, you cannot be receiving information from the United States of Biafra government. So you might need to check any link or the platforms where you are, make sure you're on the right one. So that, but this information for this meeting, we usually, even since last week or so, it's been out to the world. So that's it. I think Aggie has answered, Dr. Aggie answered the other question. Let's go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. Next person is Mazi Gregory Obuju. Mazi Gregory Obuju.
Good day, everyone. Can you hear me, please, before Mazi Drake? Because this Mazi, this is Christopher.
Okay. Mazi Christopher, go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. Thank you, Your Excellency, for clarifying that. Just in addition to what you said, real quick, I want our brother who asked the question to understand that the recognition, we as Biafrans, first and foremost, need to recognize ourselves. I want to urge Biafrans, what happened in Finland last year, do not take it for granted. Somebody who I respect a lot, she always uses the word that what happened in Finland is what we call the license to kill. That is why they try to, stop what we are doing by kidnapping or abducting our prime minister, because that is what they did to him, thinking that when they did that, Biafrans would chicken out. But with the spirit of Biafra in us, led by our deputy prime minister, we marched to Finland and we did what we did. That document our prime minister was talking about, that they did not want us to generate, we have generated it, and it nothing can change that. In addition to the 5 United Nations member states that recognized us during 67 to 70, we also have, like you said, Ambazonia, we see them as a nation. Eritrean government in exile, we see them as a nation. On that said, we can use a country like Somaliland. Somalia, for example, some people say it's a failed state. So many countries recognize Somalia. How many countries recognize Somaliland? But Somaliland is functioning as a sovereign nation and they are doing their thing. So when we stand, when we get to where we are going, that recognition would come. That recognition, people will even be begging us to recognize us. And I'll end with this. What our military, our defense department is doing, to whom it may concern, is also a part of diplomacy. So we should support our DPM, our defense department, and every department here to the best of our ability. Thank you so much, and sorry for taking your time.
Thank you. Next person is Gregory Obuju. Greg.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well done, Biafrans. My greetings to our able leader, NNAMDI Kanu, and our PM. I greet our able DPM, Dr. Ngazaraves, and all the cabinets. Yes, I will ask my question this night in Igbo, this language. My question I got to our DPM, Dr. Ngazaraves. A na-anọdụ ndị gbakọsịa all the oceans since the second week of November 2024. At least let me recount some. So actually, my history will be starting from the 2 weeks before the PM. You cross the ocean of Memo to take a PM position. You
understand it, you cross the ocean of enweghị ga-akwụ ụgwọ hall for ideclare Biafra. You cross the ocean of agaghị declare Biafra. You cross the ocean of like ndị amị Biafra. So achọrọ ihe ịmata ihe mere ji wee kwuo gidigbam kamgbe aha ka nnọọ ihe chiri obi ike iji wee kwuru gidigbam wee cross ocean niile a ka na cross-kwa the ocean till today. So ya bụ nnọọ ihe nọgide mma si ya ka ihe chiri obi gị wee cross ocean niile a so ihe ndị ya bụ
And Alusa, thank you so much for that question. And the only one of the answers I believe is every other thing that is different from what I'm doing or saying is fake. That's the answer I can give.
Exactly.
Every other thing that is different from what I do or what I say is fake. I think that's the answer. Because anything I do, anything I say is based on my years of closely working with our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. I think that has given me so much information, so much knowledge to know what he wants and where he is and where he intends to take our restoration to. I think that's just that. Those years of having so much information from the Prime Minister of what this struggle is, where it's going, what every individual in this struggle and how he sees those individuals. I think that has really helped. Again, it is also based on the trust in the leadership and whom I believe the Prime Minister knows. He knows. Again, when I keep telling people, I've been in the leadership of this United States of Biafra government for a long time. So it's not just what happened when our Prime Minister was taken away. And like I said, our Prime Minister does not really need to do what he did. He does not need to mention my name as a surrogate. No, he doesn't need to do that. Because I've been there all the way. Unless it's not something that is important in this struggle, unless it's not something that matters, I know it. Anything that is important to the declaration of this struggle, anything that is important to the leadership of the United States of Biafra, anything that matters to establish our nation, I'm there all the way. Whether I'm in meetings or I'm not in meetings, I am there all the way. So I think that is what gives me the strength, what gives me the hope, because again, I will not know what the Prime Minister wants, and then I will allow some people to distort that, to just criminalize that, to deviate. Because if I allow them to deviate, they will drag us like 5-10 years back. That is why that will never happen. And I will never allow that to happen. Because if the Prime Minister will ever allow any of these individuals to come close to the leadership, he knows they've already derailed. They have nothing to offer. except gossips and trying to pretend as if there's something, and just trying to distort and and just disturb some of us that are really really doing the work. There's just so much information I have, but I just don't have to. Um, and these individuals, they know, they really know. So it's either out of just sheer jealousy or just pettiness or just that I don't even know the word to use. They continue to do what they're doing. Like I said, even when the prime minister was around, they know where the game is. They know those that make things happen. They know that. But either they don't want to, or because they think the way they manipulate or pretend or think they manipulate the prime minister to just keep on going along, flowing along with them, despite the craziness and the stupidity that some of them bring to the table, and the prime minister just continue to manage them and just try to just make them feel relevant. Some, even when they know they have nothing, they are so irrelevant. So it's just the point where it is just dangerous to just allow that kind of leadership to continue. Like somebody, I read something when somebody said the suspension of some people didn't help things. So the suspension of the suspension by the prime minister. So again, that's just what I can say. But the prime minister knows. He knows, and he knows where this United States of Biafra government needs to be at each step of the way. And I think that knowledge is just what makes every other thing that is not in line with that. It makes it fraudulent and it makes it fake. So that's just the answer to that. Thank you.
Next person is Great Honorable Fulani. Great Honorable Fulani. And DPM FYI, that's the last person, but I have other hands that just joined. That was the 15th person, but I have.
Yeah, you think I make it fast because we've been here since
all day. All right.
Almost 5
Okay,
hours.
Great Honorable Fulani. Maybe he's sleeping. Okay.
Unmute yourself, please.
Maybe he's sleeping. Honorable Udrak.
And Honorable Udrak.
Udrak, your turn then. Oh, yes, Honorable Udrak, hold on for Honorable Fulani.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Number one, let me address one person, Emeka. Let me quickly say, Chinedu, I have a younger brother, Chinedu, but let me address him as my younger brother. Number one is that you came to ask questions and you told the person you are asking question that he is not in charge. Then why did you bring forth your question? That is just a question Chinedu should go and answer. Two, I want to quickly say that please, the Secretary to Defense, please, I want to, am I being heard?
Yes.
Am I being heard?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I want to please encourage that in your meeting with commanders, please educate them more. Educate them more. That for their own good, sometimes they may misunderstand this issue of do not answer calls. Do not answer calls. Because Nigerian defense forces have seen that coming to them man to man is difficult. Coming to them man to man is not possible. Coming to them man to man is something they can't break through. Therefore, they are using this IT forensic device to track their numbers and lure them, cajole them, manipulate them into killing them, taking them one after the other. And please encourage them. It's even better, especially those who have mistakenly been connected with this Adomago, you know, these people that had calls with Adomago should destroy their phones. Because if the phone of Adomago has been hacked, their numbers and everything about them had equally been tampered with, and they can be traced anywhere. You might think you want to just go home and rest, go to the other point and have a rest, and you don't know that you are being tracked. Because having hacked the phone number of Adron in France means that any other person, this could be in connection with this, is alleged, but I'm just assuming. So that is that on that. Then I want to ask a question, Ma. Ma, what have you to say with aliens who have come recently to insult our women on wearing costly materials? A man who has employed to work has refused to work but come to tell us our history. The rubbish she was talking, we know our history. That is why we want to depart. We want to move away. We want to go to our land. You don't need to come and repeat our history to us. Then at the same time, you are indirectly insulting our women. Sometimes we have to that because we're a nation. We have to caution him. If you have no report about the business you are employed to do for us, go home and keep your mouth shut. Before some people will come and say, "I would not have to insult him." He is insulting our women. He is insulting the Igbos. That they wear costly material, they do this. Is that the job we are employed to do? Is that what you are employed to do? It is the nature. It's our. We should know that our custom demands that we take good care of our wives. We will make them look good. They are real. Interpret this to him. Now, I want to say finally, I want to ask finally, with the way these guys are dishing out lies, volume of lies, is there any hope of seeing our Prime Minister anytime soon? That is what I want to say. And once again, I want to say, may God keep you. May God keep all the cabinet members, and may God keep all genuine Biafrans, and especially the Biafran army. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I hear more of comments, so I don't know if you have any specific question for me. And thank you so much for those clarifications and all that about our. Again, I will say it again: the Biafran army, they are not on the phone. Those people that say they talk with this army, talk with this commander, talk with this one, the people they are claiming or telling you they are talking to, they are not the army of the United States of Biafra government. Again, I have to be very, very clear on that. So when all these deceitful individuals come to say they talk to this, they talk to that, they talk to no. Our Biafran army are one of the best in the world. I'm telling you, the series of training these men and women go through on a weekly basis, you will be so shocked. That is why when you hear them talk, you will know that these are strong human beings talking. So again, I hear what you say about phone and all that, but again, our men are not on the phone. I don't know. The last one, you second to the last. I don't know if that was a question or you just made a comment.
Yeah, it was a question.
I didn't get the question. What was the question?
I said, is there any step to take to caution a man who has refused to do what he was assigned to do, rather than to come and insult our culture and our women? Because the last broadcast he gave was more like insulting our women. He has come to tell us our tradition. If he should hit us to our nerves, our women go about wearing costly clothes and jewelries and all that. So is there anything that the government should address him on that to focus on what he asked him to do? But if you have nothing to offer, he should remain silent forever. And the last question is there any hope of our seeing our Prime Minister anytime soon, considering the volume of lies with his men? Because the volume of lies seems as if dishing out these lies, after all, is not coming out anytime soon. That is the last question, the second and the last question I asked.
Again, Yeah, I got the last question, the second to the last. I didn't get it. So, as far as our PM case is concerned, we are still waiting to see how this is going to end between Finland, the United States of Biafra, and the Nigeria state, terrorist state. Finland has no right to be doing what they're doing. It is very clear to all Biafrans right now that what Finland is doing is a calculated effort, calculated attempt to stop us from doing what we're doing, to stop the full declaration of the United States of Biafra. So those criminals that were initially telling you Biafrans, oh, don't worry, leave Finland alone. They are doing good. They are protecting our prime minister. So when you have illiterates and mediocres being part of a system, you can see how that system is going to end up. And that's why we're trying as much as possible to make sure we sieve and remove these stones from the real food and all that and throw them in the trash where they belong. So we are waiting again from our international attorneys that have been on this. There's a couple of infringement on the right of our prime minister, which they are working on, and I'm not going to be open. I'm not going to tell all that publicly, but our international attorneys are working day and night to ensure that the right of our prime minister is well protected, it's not infringed upon by Finland, which they've been trying to do all along. So once that is not an answer I can give you, Prime Minister, is we'll see him tomorrow on this. But I tell you, the United States of Biafra government is on top of this case full time. So that is the answer to that.
Yeah, second to the last question is there any reason to address Elias on why he should leave his job and come to address Biafran, tell us about our culture, our history, and at the same time, I taught our women. If you listen to his last broadcast, he was almost insulting our women.
I got the question.
Yes.
Again, I got that question. So again, when you have mediocres that they don't even know their value, they don't know their worth, when you have them, and then you have this individual that absolutely can't offer much in our culture, in our tradition, in our religion, in the things, our way of life, coming out publicly to kind of abuse the Biafrans, kind of trying to show us a holier than thou attitude, trying to tell us how we have to live our life, what we are, what the kings and the queens, just an outright individual, a mediocre that has nothing, doesn't know about the integrity and the culture of the United States of Biafra indigenous. So what that individual is doing, he is based on what the people he's associating with allows him to do. So that's where you allow them to be at the level where they are. I mean, we cannot help them. The United States of Biafra government cannot help individuals that parade themselves with all these mediocres on the social media trying to explain what they do not know. He cannot exhibit that kind of nuance, that kind of insult. He can't do that if he is in the table of the United States of Biafra cabinet or in the United States of Biafra government. No, he dare not. He dare not. He cannot do that. But because he walks around, moves around with all these nincompoops and mediocres, again, what do you expect? He cannot come around, fly on air, and say whatever he did. As far as this government is concerned, he has been relieved. The company that hired him with that contract has been terminated. So anything he's doing now, he's doing it with the people that he's just an unofficial basis that he's romancing. But definitely, whatever he said is irrelevant as far as the United States Biafra government is concerned. That's my answer to that. Next, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next
I appreciate your response.
You're welcome.
Honorable Oduak. That's on now.
Yes, my greetings to my indomitable DPM, a woman that cannot be defeated, a woman chosen by the God of Biafra to lead us. We appreciate you, ma. I want to appreciate our honorables in the house one more time. My question goes like this, and all Biafrans. I want to appreciate everyone that has held on till now. God bless all of us. I stepped out a little bit. I wasn't sure. I didn't know that they had put a limit. I mean, on how many people should talk. So you need to pardon me. I just had this burden in my heart regarding my department. It's a big department. That's why we are up to, like, we were initially up to 4 women. But I've been trying so hard. A lot of people are busy.
Wadaloli neno from Igbo media boy by siwene wetenu nyabozi dio kempa bastaba kuyene na Nigeria and yene menebe di chiche na Eastern region and ono no kosi adana Finland and Biafran Prime Minister KC Judea the update and yabo Biafran declaration came na Finland so yene na kaya aine wetenu niru akwụkwọ kifi were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ihe chief of staff kwugasị n'iru akwụkwọ ya na ebe ọrụtagasị aka and the new development on Biafra of United States of Biafra so ya bụ ife ka anyị si ka anyị tinye elu nkunu gwa ifu nche n'ụdị nkunu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ngwa dado dị nke mesịa na ụmụnne m